Welcome to my third devlog. Today is Tuesday. I released the previous devlog yesterday, as the first time I've had to work on my game since yesterday. I'm working this evening, still working towards the goal of having a working spaceship generator by the end of the month. This is end of May 2021. So this evening, I don't know quite what I'll be working on, but I'm gonna just carry on with being able to create different interesting shapes using the marching cubes algorithm and scalar field stuff that I've done already. Right now, status, it looks like this. It's literally just a cube, as it was at the beginning of last devlog. Nothing's changed on that front. But hopefully today, with this session, I can literally just make it more spaceship-like. So I may have gotten slightly distracted and ended up trying to make a normal cube, not with the marching cubes algorithm, but I wanted to look correctly lit from the inside. This is what it looks like at the moment. This is clearly not what I want. If I come out of the cube, yeah. There's the sphere, and that sphere is supposed to be inside the cube, but for some reason it's not. So I've tried lots of things. I've tried like flipping the normals, because I feel like the normals could be a problem, but that doesn't seem to be it. I've tried reducing the lighting model. So the lighting model at the moment, it's like a bunch of things like this. Yeah, we'll see. That's where I am at the moment. Okay, so I've solved a bunch of issues from what I had last time, so let's show the progress. I've got that cube, the green one, which you'll see here. That's sort of like the container, the room that we're in. And now this is what I'm working on at the moment. This is the result of the marching cubes. Something is going wrong with the lighting here. I have one light in this room. The coordinates are 15 from the floor-ish and perfectly centered. And this cube is also perfectly centered, so something is going horribly wrong with the lighting, where just the one side is lighting up. Yeah, so it's a couple days later, and I have solved some problems and introduced others. So I solved the normal problem that I had on the previous cube, and so the lighting is now correct. The YouTube compression algorithm probably isn't gonna be nice to this. So this cube is now lit correctly-ish, but it's a bit dark, as you can see. I've introduced a multiple lighting system, so there are now 4 lights at like the 4 corners, but they are incredibly dim, and I need to figure that out. I also added a little up and down ability, so now I can go up or down, and then backwards or forwards. The up or down is sort of a debug thing. I will work on making the lighting better. So we've got some very nice progress. I've added a noise function that now binds to a texture, and it's beautiful. It's 900 by 900, so it takes a while to actually create the texture. I obviously need to work a little bit on that, and the seams are hideous, but ignore that. It's a cube, and it has a texture now. Yeah, so this is quite an ugly seam here. It's because the noise texture that I've created is a 900 by 900 square. I have to map it to this cube. The way I'm doing that is using spherical projection, and that causes this thing here where we're seeing the left and the right side of the image smashed up against each other. And then at the top, there's super detail because it's using like sort of the top row, and it gets shrunk and shrunk and shrunk until eventually it's 900 pixels, but it's only like one tiny spot on the cube. I think at this point I can now work on the shape. This allows me to actually see the detail of the object, so I can actually see the geometry of the object now. I might get some brighter lights and brighten the texture up a little bit more, but for now I think this is good. Let's look at what I've done since last week. So looking at the beginning of last week, we're just looking at some fairly hideous marching cubes results, and it did not look any good. And now we have an entire room, sort of a cube that we can compare things with and see scale and understand, like this isn't just floating in the middle of nowhere. It actually has some context. Obviously, as I do more and more, the context will be easier. I'm going to replace this with this sort of background with a skybox. So it'll look like there's a star field in the background. That's the idea. At the moment, this is the final result of this week in terms of the marching cubes algorithm. I went back to a sphere just so that the texture looked better. Obviously, it's still got weird seams and everything, but it looks way better to do spherical projection mapping onto a sphere than to do it onto a cube. This is sort of the final piece. I tweaked the lights a bit, made the surface look a bit more shiny. Obviously, ships are metallic, and this looks a lot more metallic than it used to. So that's the progress for the week. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.